What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodshed, and today we're going over the no training time update, how we think about it, how at least I feel about it, and we're going to talk about what that means for the future of Clash. Let's go ahead and get into the video. That's right, guys. We have another talkie video here today, and I'm going to go over a lot of and recap a lot of the no training time update, what it really means for you guys, and what you guys really should be kind of expecting going forward from Clash. Now, I will point out this is actually going to be a very positive video, but it's also going to be a very talky video. You guys are going to see a lot of Town Hall 17 gameplay in the back. Not just for me, but just for my clan in general. We're starting Clan War League as this is all coming up. So we're going to talk about the new training update and how we feel about everything, at least from what I've seen from people talk about online, my clan, and how I feel about it. Of course, they added some new levels and stuff to defenses, troops, more max wall levels, and some other things along those odds and ends, along with leaking the Super Yeti of all things, which was wild to really think about. They've leaked a new Super Troop and how strong it was. Let me know what you guys thought of the Super Yeti in the comments below, by the way. And if you think it'll get nerfed, and if you do, how hard do you think it'll be nerfed? I think it'll be nerfed pretty aggressively. If nothing else, the Yeti mites will get nerfed, for sure. How strong it is. But of course, the big change they made was they removed training time, guys. I've been playing this game since 2013. I always say the start of 2013 or the end of 2012. And I had never in my wildest dreams thought they would have removed training time. I was floored when years ago when they did the reduction in training time and there was no cost for troops and there was a lot less training time. And I went from hours for armies to train to 40, 45 minutes for like a serious war army comp to kind of come together. And for them just to remove training time out of nowhere, that was just something I never considered as really as a possibility, right? I also do know a lot of the community was very skeptical hearing that they were going to reduce or take away training time, right? Especially given the timing, and I will admit they could have done a better job with the timing. Everybody did think it was going to be an April Schools joke. Excuse me. And I am so glad it's not. A lot of people were very skeptical. I knew it was going to be real because I knew that the ramifications of that being a joke was going to be very, very harsh for Supercell. So I was a little nervous originally thinking about this change, however. I won't lie to you guys. There was a couple things that I was a little more concerned about, and I want to tell you guys about them, right? I just want you guys to have the full scope and thoughts on this, right? There was definitely a couple things I wasn't sure about, right? So, what wasn't I sure about? I really was concerned about there being no training time, so a lot of high-level players getting very bored very quickly, and playing for much shorter amounts of time. And realistically, it seems like it's kind of gone the other way, where people are playing more, and they're actually attacking more, they're challenging more, they're trying to learn more, and a lot of people are actually starting to spend time on their mini accounts. So mini accounts are going to start becoming a little more popular with the no training time. I will admit, given this update, there is something I'm not particularly fond of, and it is the closing the app and it says waiting for your troops are still in battle. So you can't skip to the end of the attack like that. I really liked that because there's a point where I do use spam attacks, and it was very nice just to be like, well, you know what? There's nothing else I could do. There's nothing else I can place. Let's just kill the app and come back, and I'll save myself a minute or two, right? And now that's not really a thing you can do, but it's definitely worthwhile for the trade-off for there to be no training time. It's kind of insane, right? I actually am a big fan of it. So is it annoying? Yes, but is it worth the one minor annoyance? Probably for the huge quality of life. Yeah, I would almost have to say so. Now, what does this mean for Clash of Clans going forward, though? Now, some of you guys are going to be really confused. What are you talking about? What do you mean going forward? What do you think is going to happen magically now that they've done this? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you kind of what this means, right? There's always been Well, first of all, what this means is that Supercell's listening to their community. They're hearing complaints and concerns, and they're adapting, which is a huge, huge thing, right? Supercell has always done a very good job of listening to the community, but it's getting even more so and more so the bigger they get as a whole and a developer. Um, excuse me. And here, I'll give you an example. Um, and what makes this so cool is that there are things that they said they'd never do that are now starting to come to light, right? Um, for example, right? Stuff they never said would come, but is now starting to kind of slowly creep its way into our lives, and now more and more of those are coming. Like, for example, gem mine. They said was never going to be a thing. Even if it's in the builder base, it's free gems, right? Which is a it's not as many as we were hoping for, but still, it's free gems, right? And then came the hero upgrading event, which was so fond of so many players, and we all loved it. They said that would never be a thing. You could never use your heroes while they were upgrading. That's never going to be a thing. And here it came in the shape of a hero event. And now we have the Alchemist, and you can exchange resources. If you have an overabundance of one, you can trade it for another, which is a huge, huge, huge thing for the community. I cannot understate how big something like that is going. And so something like that, this update particular, the no train time, which again is not something that we'd even really consider to be feasible, right? Um, this shows that they're listening and they're willing to make changes that they once upon a time never were, right? Um, and this opens up the possibility of things like using your heroes while upgrading. Now, personally, I do think that's kind of a stretch. Um, so what I'm hoping more so for, and I hope Supercell is listening to me right now, I'm really hoping for that they make a potion that you can buy out of like Great Metals or something, or it gives it to you in the gold pass. Look at this troop launcher, by the way. That is absurd, the range this thing ends up getting. I didn't know that it would stay there and launch cross map. I don't ever use this thing because I don't use ground attacks all that often. But it's absolutely insane, right? But I'd love for them to make a potion you get in the raid metal shop, and you can essentially just buy something that gives you your heroes for an hour while they're upgrading at the previous level that they were. I don't think that's outlandish. And now, realistically, given what they've done, I think something like that might even be feasible for that to really start happening. And not to mention with the WWE collab they're doing, which is unrelated to the update, but is really big for the community and Clash as a whole. Guys, I don't want to have to just like blow up their ego and just feel like I'm just absolutely meat riding Supercell, but this is huge. They're getting big collabs. They've been listening to the community and the gamers. This is absolutely amazing for Clash of Clans, for the community, for the content creators, for the casual players, for the competitive players. It actually feels like Clash of Clans might be more alive than it really ever has, and that's kind of my hope. I'm probably being a little too optimistic there, but man, it feels really good. The state of the game is actually in a great place. There's never been a better time to get people on and to try and play with. Am I right? So given all that, right, I think this update's fantastic, right? I think this is the best time to try and get people to come back and play. And those who don't, I think this is the best time to start mini accounts, for Christ's sakes. They seem to have handled the loot very well. We've had some more events coming up. We've had some in the past very recently. I hope they do another unlimited hero event very soon if they don't take my potion idea. But they really should. Even the custom bundles they've offered have been fantastic, where you can make your own. So man, I think Supercell is definitely going in the right direction with the game. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure it's not just me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody.